Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to March's How to Kill a Kit with Style. And March's How to Kill a Kit with Style is going to be a little bit of February's How to Kill a Kit with Style revamped. Now, I did get I got 5 layouts done. I got 3 that I shared with you and a double pager that will be coming up on my channel next week. If you recall, my February kit was based on Gingham Farm, and I'm going to get back to that in a moment, which was some whites and creams and tones of grayscale into black, as well as a little bit of this mossy green. And I think I had 2 problems with getting that kit killed. So first, let's look at this layout, which is done totally and completely with the kit, and it's an 8.5 by 11. Then I shared this one, which was also based quite a bit on the kit, the background paper, this Vicky Wooten paper here, the sort of blacks and whites and more sand tone colors. But then you see this is where it started. So I think one of the problems I had was it was just a touch too monochromatic for me. And although I do love the blacks and whites and grays and this lovely green, I felt, maybe because it's winter, I felt some of my layouts needed some brighter pops of color. So this is where I started pulling in to the kit and adding some pops of color, staying within a little bit of the additional collection, because my kit was based on Gingham Farm with a little bit of Vicky Wooten and a few other bits from my stash. So I pulled in some colorful bits here from Vicky Wooten, and this layout had doubled for one of Christie's C challenges working with collections. So there we go. And this one, exactly the same thing. So you can see here, it's mainly the kit. All of these papers under here were using, and the background paper was using my kit, but then I brought in, and this was a bit of an afterthought on this layout, I brought in this pop of sort of turquoise and blue, and I love it. So that, and then here's just a quick little sneak of a double pager that's coming up next week, which is a little bit in Christina's style with the black and white and pops of color, where again, I brought in some pops of color. So I think that is the first thing that sort of went a little awry with the kit in the form that it was. I needed a little bit more color. Love these lovely neutral colors, but I needed to add a little bit more of a pop. And then, but I mean, I still got 5 layouts, and I think I actually got a 6th, but I have a special project coming up on my channel in April, and I used the kit for one of those layouts as well. And then I think, so here are the scraps, some scraps that I have. And then I think the next problem I encountered a bit is I had already used, even before putting this kit together, I had used all of the smaller patterns in previous layouts. And I think the large patterns here threw me a little bit. See, for me, this is a little bit of a difficult background. I like smaller and tighter patterns for a background. So I would use this as a piece, but not as a background. And this needs to be fussy cut. So I think this I'm going to fussy cut. I did not do that, but that's where that's going to go. Again, this pattern, just a little bit too big. This one, though, good background. This one, same kind of thing. And this one could be a lovely background if I use some more tone-on-tone patterns. And I think, see, now these X's here are a little bit too far apart for me. It's a beautiful collection. I love it. But I think the majority of the paper that I had needs to be used in chunks and not as backgrounds, except maybe for this one. So I did bring in a little bit of cardstock, and I did use some, again, keeping it all very dark. Then I had brought in this lovely polka dot, which I think could be a background, and these two sheets. But I think I was missing, or for me, I was 1, missing color, and 2, missing backgrounds. So we're keeping all of this going for March, and I am revamping it. So here's the kit. I won't go through everything that I have left over here. You saw this kit when I did my February share. I did use, and I have, you know, the chipboard left. I have the lovely 6x6. I did use quite a bit of that, but I still have quite a bit left. So you've already seen that, and I'm keeping all of this. And now what I'm going to do, now I'm going to put the papers out. Now I'm going to revamp it by 1, adding some color, and 2, adding more paper that I can use as background. So first thing I did, so I went into my stash, and you see this is a smaller pattern, a little bit brighter. This is a very old paper from Scraptastic in 2015. Not this side, but we can definitely be using this side. Then you see I went into my lovely Auburn Lane, and I found a few. I found this paper that I still had in a 12x12 sheet, where I can bring in a little bit of the pinks, which I could put maybe with this green, or with some of these fussy cut flowers, or I can use this side of it, which has the sort of sand color and the black and the grays. And then you see, I think what I was missing a little bit also was just white or vanilla cardstock that I can do some mixed media on, because I've been playing a lot with my stencils, and I had not really put anything much in here that I could use my stenciling, except maybe for this Sahara Sand color, where I did use some ink stenciling. So I've added that, and another sheet of this lovely polka dot background, and you see now this could brighten it all up, and a few extra little scraps that I have. But now if you look at this, we're still pretty much in the monotones, the blacks, the whites, the creams. So then going with my pops of color, I went in and I've taken out the Vicki Boutin 6x8 paper pad from Kaleidoscope. And look how that just breathes new life into all of this, and how lovely this will fit. So I just brought, and there's beautiful pops of color. Not every sheet would go with it, of course, but look, this will fit. Look at that. You see, that will bring in beautiful pops of color. The butterflies, this beautiful pop. So I brought in for March, I will be adding in. I will continue doing a fair amount of the basic black and white or the monochromatic, but adding these pops of color into the kit. And then following on with that, Christy and I have been talking, and as you know, I mentioned in my Freeze Friday that we're going to be trying to use up ephemera and stickers. So I got 2 sticker sheets from the very, very old that I have brought in here. These are, again, see, they stay in these tones. I've got the sort of charcoal color here, the mustard with the black, which I think complements quite well. This lovely black and white, here a little bit of the gray, but I can bring in some blues. So these 2 sticker sheets, which are, I think this is October Afternoon, I think some Farmhouse, I think, which was back in maybe 2012. This is a crepe paper. And then I found this full alphabet, which will complement the thicker alphabet from Vicki Boutin that I had, which is a flat cardstock alphabet that I can use. And then I brought in this chipboard from Maggie Holmes, and I think, is this Shine? That, again, has a lot of the black and white and creams, but brings in some pops of color. My 2 focus stencils for March, bows and butterflies. Got this idea from my friend Karen, and I'll be talking a little bit more about these stencils in the upcoming Freeze Friday, this week's Freeze Friday. And then what I thought I would do a little bit here with you, one of my lovely friends and subbies gave me this great idea when I was talking about these gorgeous sampler kits that I had and that I had not used. And I showed you a whole container of almost a year, or maybe even more of a year. And she said, you know what? Why don't you pull out just randomly 2 or 3 and pair them with a kit, or make a specific kit. So that might be what I do for April. But here I've just pulled out 3, and I thought I would go through some of this with you and maybe choose a few more papers to add to this kit. So that, there you go. Now you see this, I think, works perfectly. Stays in the blacks and whites. This is maybe a little too colorful, too blue. Oh, there, look, see, this will be perfect. Oh, and look, and this has some little cut aparts that I can use. This will be lovely, another little floral that I can pop in there. Not sure. A little bit of red. Red, I always love a pop of red with the blacks and whites. This is just blue, so maybe not. Other black and white for sure. With there, look, perfect. These are some lovely little cut aparts that I can use. Gray and black. Oh, bringing in the pops of color. Pops of color. Won't be using this one. This, yeah, we'll put that one in. So there you go. We'll get that added in. And then I have this lovely kit, you see, which is from, oh, and there's even little bits and pieces here that we might be able to use. This one is from November of 2019. And there, that's a perfect addition. Yeah, see? Oh, I like pretty much all of these will fit. Maybe not that. Look at this lovely camera paper. Is that not gorgeous? The colors work, but not too fussy. Oh, and that, yeah, so that definitely can go in with this lovely tag. Little bits here. Yeah, these will fit. That lovely bow. These are my favorite days. Oh, and a fun little sticker sheet. Don't know about the stamp set, but there you go. And then lastly, this little bit of a kit that is left from October 2018, people. Yeah. Nope. Yes. 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 Ooh, that will bring in a very lovely, bright pop of color. But maybe a little too Halloween-y. I'm not really a Halloween scrapper, so these maybe not. Well, this could work. There you go. That can work for black and white strip. Then we have Magic. That will work for sure. A lovely little tag here that'll work. I think I remember I don't remember which collection this was from, but I remember many of us talking about this being just a touch creepy. It sort of fits, but I don't quite know what I would do with that. Little cherries. sunshine, a lovely maple leaf, which I can definitely use. That I can use. Gorgeous star. Some of these pink fresh stars. So there you go. So I've added this. So now I think, well, one, I think I have a very large kit here for sure. So let's see what I can do. But I think I'm also going to try and maybe do some cards. Oh, and let's pull in the Vicki Boutin washi tape. Let's pull that in because it works beautifully as well. So I think I've remedied the two areas that bothered me a little bit with the February kit. So that is papers that I can use as backgrounds, a little bit more neutral cardstock that I can use my stencils on, and keeping with the beautiful creams and grays and blacks and whites, but adding bright and bold, beautiful pops of color. So tell me, what do you think? I am going to really try and get a lot more use out of this kit, and I'm sort of loving it. Tell me, what do you think? You like the pops of color being added to it? And are you a monochromatic type scrapper? Or do you tend to go for all the colors, the bolder, the better? Let me know down below, and I'll be back to show you how I get on with this kit. And of course, please don't forget to pop on down and see what everybody else is getting done and using for March. There's going to be tons and tons and tons of inspiration. Talk to you soon. Bye.